thank you for backing our launch of the Bobbit Button project. First version celebrates 25 years of Bobbit Voices and SPX1. You may never beat it, but when you bop it for good. Visit bobbitforgood.com to find out more. Dedicated to the dozens of talented designers, marketeers, engineers, model makers, toy execs, friends and family, without which my annoying idea for a game called Bobbit would still be just a piece of foam core in my closet, and to so many more not mentioned below. Warning, this Bobbit contains sarcasm, frustration, and really annoying sounds and voices. But all packaging and plastic parts are made from 100% post-consumer recycling materials.
Hello everyone, this is Nudge, and this is perhaps one of the most special videos that I'll get to make in a while, because it is one of those moments that really might not happen in another few years. So I thought I might as well talk about it now that I can. So this video is going to be an overview, I guess, a description, a sort of like everything you could possibly imagine about the Bop It button, which is Dan Klitsner's newest invention, the newest Bop It game, and to some, the best Bop It game. Because he has finally reversed what Hasbro has been doing for the past, 8 years, and made a game that is finally worthwhile, worth owning, worth playing, and just has a lot more appeal to different age groups besides simply just children, which is what Hasbro loves to market their stuff towards because they know they'll get money out of it. Dan's initiative, called Bop It for Good, is not like that. He receives donations or he markets his products towards anyone and everyone, really, and including people who are slightly disabled, like us. But that doesn't just mean blindness, it can also mean some sort of mental disability. It basically can transfer over to everything. Now, this is only possible because Dan, he still has to partner up with companies to produce the products that he designs. So Hasbro is still copyrighted on this thing. Super Impulse is also behind it as well. But the internal team at KID Group, are the ones who are responsible for actually programming the game and making it the way it is. Okay, so I'd like to quickly do a little backstory about the button, because the fact that we own the Bop It button now, and the fact that there's multiple people in the electronic game community who have owned it for quite a while now that it's been released and it's been shipped out, and other people will own it too, I'm guessing, just because of the fact that it's such a unique product. The thing started as a little thing that Dan wanted to put just as a little Easter egg thing on a book that he was making about the history of Bop It. He wanted it to just be one of those little things that you could press, and it was just a little button and it would make noises or whatever. And from there, he started kind of thinking, okay, what if I made a game that doesn't have all these actions like most other Bop It games do, but where the challenge lies in the fact that there is only one button. and you have to either press it or not. Or as the game says, bop it, don't bop it. So he got to thinking, and he started doing a bunch of prototype testing, and this was perhaps one of the first, if not the only times in which he involved outsiders, just random people who have always appreciated his games, to be able to test and give feedback to him about the prototypes and how the finished product is going to end up. And that's what happened. There were multiple people who got prototypes, and then the people who received the prototypes gave feedback, and that contributed to the final release. There were a bigger section of people who got pre-production units, which were very similar to the final release unit, and I happen to be one of those people. There's quite a few of these floating around because there's more of them than there were earlier prototype units, at least. And these pre-production ones look and feel very similar to the full release one, which then got sent out a bit later. I got mine at the very beginning of December, and today is December 10th. Today is the time where we are able to finally talk about the Bop It button without too many obstructions, and I'm hoping I'll be able to do that today. It's kind of like one of those embargo dates that you see on tech review stuff, where like everyone makes a video on the exact same day at the exact same time. It's a bit like that, except there's less of it. So I'm going to be using the newest, as in the release unit, the one that I recently got, to demo how the button works. I also own and will probably still have batteries in the pre-production unit because that's what I've been playing before then, but I'm not expecting there to be much of a difference. So the Bop It button, as I said, is one of the most unique design things simply because it is ridiculously simple. It has a battery compartment which takes 2 AAAs, a speaker, and a button. That is it. Literally. Well, that and of course the brains. But that's all it has. No more inputs, no switch, no nothing. Absolutely nothing. The only thing that you can do is to press or hold that button down, and that's how you control all of it. And this game has high scores, it has volume, it has modes, so you can do a lot of things with that one single button. So in practice, let's go and show you how this works. So, actually, before I do that, for those who don't have a Bop It button, and who are considering getting one, by the way, you can get these Bop It buttons only on Bop It for Good's website. You can't do it from anywhere else at the moment because they're simply only available there at the moment. So if you want to get one, you should buy one from bopitforgood.com. So let's see. I wanted to describe the thing. So the Bop It button is roughly the size of a Simon Micro, if you know what that feels like. It's circular, just like most other Bop It parts of a Bop It game usually are. But it's a bit more... like, think of it as kind of like a circular ring or lid type thing, like a lid, except for the fact that on the back, it has feet instead of actually screwing onto something. So it's very circular, but it's also very flat. it's not rounded or curved like something like the Simon Micro would be. And near the top there's this ring, and on the very top is the button, which on mine you can feel it shaking around. And you can also press it down without it activating if you do it in a specific way. I love the fact that the button clicks, has a very satisfying and definite click sound to it, which I really enjoy. Unlike most other Bop It button, well, I mean the newer ones, they do click, but they're definitely not as satisfying as this one is. And that's about it. The Bop It button itself is slightly curved. And besides that, it just kind of feels like the Bop It button on something, say, like the classic 2019. It's almost the same dimensions, but it protrudes out a little bit more. And that's all it really is. On the back, there is a bunch of grills for a speaker, 4 feet made of rubber, and a battery cover, which, if you unscrew it, you'll see the 2 AAA batteries. And that is literally it. That is all there is to this thing. The joy of this game lies in its simplicity, but also its complexness when it comes to the programming. That is where everything is. So, before I actually get to playing this thing, because this game is less challenging if you know what to expect, so if I start playing this now without any further ado, I'll probably go on forever. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to like just start a game and then not be able to explain anything else. So first, let's go over all the other things you can do. This game, because of how simple it has to be to control in the beginning, there's 2 things you can do when you're at a standstill. When the game is quote-unquote off, anytime you just press the button, it will immediately start. Or, if it's off or on, it doesn't matter. Anytime you hold the button down for a long time, it will start giving you your high score / all-time score, whatever. Let's see if mine has anything. I don't remember if it does. No, it does not. That is because I recently reset mine, so mine literally has a score of 0. There is nothing to report. The game doesn't have a number 0 for some reason. Or at least I don't remember it doing. And in order to get anywhere and make it say anything when you hold the button down, you actually have to get a score first. Okay, so I'll get back to that in a bit. There's one more thing I want to talk about, is that there's actually 2 things. One is changing volume. You have to be very quick about this because the timers go fast. So to change volume, you press the button once and you hear the game start up, and then you hold the button down. This might differ. There might be newer revisions of the game where it won't be like this, but the way it works on these is you press the button to get it to start playing, and then you hold the button down immediately after that to get it to change volumes, and then you press the button as many times as you want. So let me give you a little demonstration of what that sounds like.
Quiet, loud, blapping, quiet, loud, blapping, quiet.
As you can hear, that is Buddy Rubino's voice.
Blapping.
I'm going to leave it on blasting. Now, if I do it again, and on one of my presses I hold the button down, like this,
Quiet, loud,
hold,
blapping. Bop it. 150. Bop it.
what it's doing now is it's cycling through different modes. There's 4 of them.
150. Bop it.
I'm going to leave it on Bop It. So Bop It is what I would call the start from scratch mode. What it said at the very end when it said 150, that is a mode where you immediately start at 150. There's a reason why this mode exists. In the beginning, when the game was still being promoted and advertised and people wanted to show it off, the 150 mode was used to basically start a game further in so people could hear what the slightly more advanced thing would sound like the difference between if you started from 0 and when you start from 150 is quite a big one, as you'll see when I start playing it myself. And then the other two are completely different modes. There's the click, click one, which is basically a pass the bomb hot potato type thing, where the game will literally just sit there and keep playing music until it fails for no reason. It's kind of like a time bomb type thing, so you can use it to pass it around and use as like a random hot potato thing, as I said. And the fart mode will keep on just playing random fart and burp noises because that's fun. Okay, so let's actually play the game. The rules of the game are ridiculously simple. As I said, the nature lies in not just the simplicity, but then also to trick you into thinking that it's more simple than it is. You either bop it, or you don't bop it. When it says don't, the next time it says bop it, no matter how far away that bop it is, don't bop it. Ever. There is also do bop it and do not bop it, which will come in after that. And that's about it. The rest of it is you trying to keep your concentration in check and hoping you'll be able to remember what it said. So, what I'm going to do first, so I can show you this, is I'm going to get a score of 10 specifically, and I'm going to stop there. So this is what getting to 10 sounds like. This is my first time playing on this one.
Pop it. 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 Don't pop it. Pop it. Pop it. Pop it. No! What's one step above pathetic? Score 10. High score 10. Killer, dude.
Okay, so I just now realized that the speaker on my button, this specific one, might actually be more distorted than I first thought. That's odd. Okay, so a few things to note. One is that this game, being a kid group product and a 25th anniversary to Bop It, tries to pay homage to basically any Bop It game that has been released for the past 25 years. So it includes cameos from the original Bop It Extreme, and also all the subsequent later ones like the Shout and the XT and whatever, because Buddy Rubino's voice is all over it, for example. So you'll get to hear a lot of familiar things that make you go, oh, this exists, which is one of the selling points of this game, because it basically brings back a bunch of nostalgia for people who used to have the older games from the Bop It series. The other thing is, whenever it says Bop It and you press the button, it might actually not make a sound or anything. It's not consistent. When you press the button, it might just say Bop It again right away. Doesn't matter. You have to do it. And even if it does make the sound, it doesn't always play the beat. It's kind of random. That's just how this game works. So now, if I hold the button down, it'll do this.
High score 10. All-time score 10. Bop it, 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 bop it.
So, this thing, which I sometimes refer to as the unlock review mode, can be accessed if you hold the button for long enough. So first it tells you your high score, then it tells you your all-time score, which is different. It basically counts up all of your games and adds all of it up. And then it does this thing where it basically plays all of your unlocks. Unlocks are they're given to you at a specific point, so the more you play, the more of these little, first of all, there's the bop it, bop it, bop it, bop it, all the voice clips for the word bop it. You can unlock those. You will then unlock response sounds, so whenever you press bop it, it'll make different noises eventually. And there's also these other things called intermissions, or at least I like to call them those, where the game will stop for a little bit and it will do something, like give you a compliment or like play music or whatever. And you can unlock these too. And the more you play, the more of them you unlock. And it's not just based on your high, it's also based on your all-time score as well. Once you reach a certain point, you'll have unlocked everything, and you'll basically be able to hear almost the entire content of the game by simply holding the button down for long enough. And one other thing I'll say is that this unlock review thing can easily be accessed if you simply hold the button, and by the time it's saying your all-time score, you let go, it will keep playing. So if I do this,
High score 10. All time
now I let go
score
and I'm
10.
going to just wait.
Bop it, bop
see
it,
it's
bop
playing
it, bop it, bop it, bop.
And to stop it, you press the button again, which doesn't start a new game. That's important. So if you want to, trigger the unlock review, you don't need to hold it down and keep holding it. If you do hold it for long enough to where you're still holding it by the time it starts, letting go will immediately stop it from continuing. But if you let go while it's saying your all-time and then you press it once, it'll stop there and it won't start another game. Unfortunately, modes are not unlockable. You get them from the very beginning. So if you want to start at 150 from the very beginning, you can. And also, you might be thinking that there's something like a multiplayer mode missing from this game. Well, thing is, Dan likes, or very much likes to imagine that people can make up their own scenarios of how they would play this as multiple people. So he suggests things like, if the game says don't bop it, then you don't necessarily just stop doing what you're doing and just stay there and freeze. You can do something else besides bop it. So maybe that thing is to pass it to another person. That could work. Or I would say maybe you could do it when there's an intermission playing. You can basically do multiplayer with this game in whatever way you want. And that's one of those things that's kind of goes back to the roots of the game not really having to tell you everything, and it also doesn't need to sense more than it does, like I don't know, like it doesn't, it's also for cost cutting, but like it doesn't need to have like motion sensors or whatever, because it's useless. Just play the game in whatever way you want. And when it comes to doing that, I think it's time for me to actually play the game for a little bit longer. The game starts out from 0, and you can go... I'm just going to tell you guys this right now. You can go forever. Well, for such a long time that anyone, like a human being, would inconceivably never be able to get further than the top score on this thing. I've heard, according to Dan, that the highest all-time score that can be recorded on this is 1 million, which is ridiculous. I don't think it would ever be possible to get that on one set of AAAs. But getting a high score, you can play the game for as long as you want as well. The game stops every 100, and it will let you take a tiny little break, but not for long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set mine to loud instead of blasting to make the speakers slightly less distorting. I'm a little bit disappointed about that, actually. I wish it wasn't this distorted, but it's going to be fine. And it's time to play. So, I'm just gonna start doing this, and I'm going to stop at a specific point because I don't want to play like a ridiculously large amount. The reason for that is because I want to save that for the maximum score. I will be making a maximum score episode of this one, for sure. It's going to be fun. Now, what I will say is, it's going to be quite a long thing, so, yeah, I'm going to make it slightly less of a pain for me so that I'm not constantly jumping around. I'm going to do this. Let's see. I'm going to put my phone right here, and I'm going to start playing. Actually, no, let's do it this way. Okay. Ready? Let's go.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it.
Wait,
Bop it. Bop it.
I'm gonna stop again.
That was a hot mess. Score 5.
And I'm gonna see if it's switched back.
Quiet. Loud.
Yes, it has. It turns off after only about a minute of inactivity, so I had to switch volumes again. That's better.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it.
And you'll see, the more you play,
Bop it.
the more there will be intermissions and new things that will keep on doing to make it sound more interesting.
Don't bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it.
Like that, for example.
Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. 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 Focus. Concentrate. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it.
This is still the first revision of the game, so there are a lot of imperfections, a lot of odd things that might not come, like, completely musically or whatever, but eventually there will be... Oh, there's the do not bop it. Eventually there will be multiple revisions of this game, and the imperfections might be slightly more ironed out.
You're so hot right now. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. You're so hot right now.
Hey there, Nail It. Nice to see you.
Don't bop it. Don't
Also, it loves to
bop
trick you with that one. Remember, only play,
Bop it.
or only,
Bop it.
whenever you hear the beat bop sound,
Bop it.
do not
Bop
react
it.
to it.
Bop it.
This is Vox Bop
Bop it.
only.
Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it.
I love how
Bop it.
very
Bop
random
it.
it is. Like, oh, and it also likes to do this too.
Bop it. Bop it.
Well, that was
Bop
fortunate. It actually made
Don't
a
bop it.
started the
Bop
beat.
it.
It doesn't usually do
Bop
that.
it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Don't bop it. 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 Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it.
And we're just about to reach 100.
Bop it. Bop
Now
it.
give me a break.
100. Hey, you win. Not. Bop it to keep going.
That dwong is important
Bop it.
because what that means
Bop
is
it.
you got an
Bop
extra
it.
life.
Bop it. Bop it.
Hey there, Spin It.
Bop it. Bop it.
So extra lives and Flick It are important because if you mess up, you can try again. It just said do bop it. Be very careful with the do.
Oh, that was adorable. Try again.
Okay? Hey there, the button didn't register.
Don't.
I just lost that life. It said don't, remember, don't press anything.
Bop it. Bop it.
There.
Don't bop
I'm gonna
it.
try to
Don't bop
press it a lot more forcefully so I don't die.
Bop it. Do.
So these intermissions sometimes get a bit odd.
Bop it. Hello. Hello. Bop it.
Like that one,
Bop
for
it.
example.
Bop it.
You can also press the button as quickly as you want.
Bop it.
So if you want, you can go,
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it.
but I would not recommend it
Bop it. Bop it.
because
Bop it.
if it says
Bop
don't,
it. Don't.
like that, and if you press it again, it will kill you.
Hello.
I just reached 150, I think,
Don't bop it.
and at 150, something happens.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't.
There. This is the Bop It button's most favorite trick that it loves to pull on you. It says don't, then it starts ticking. It makes you want to forget that it ever said don't, but I will not forget. And,
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do not bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it.
so past 150, there's multiple voice clips
Bop it.
of different people who have volunteered,
Bop it.
including
Bop it.
Dan's own
Bop it.
voice.
Bop it. Don't.
Oh, there it is again. So this Bop It for Good edition of the Bop It button doesn't just contain a bunch of cameos from older Bop It games, it also contains voice clips from other people.
Bop it. Don't.
Don't forget, it said don't.
Bop it. Don't bop it. Don't bop it. Bop
I'm not
it.
pressing it, there
Bop
we
it.
go.
Off the hook. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop
Ew.
it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop
Just
it.
the noises that it will
Bop it.
randomly
Bop
start
it.
doing
Do
is
not
just
bop
funny.
it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it.
Also, that's a Bop It
Do.
Extreme.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. 200. Redonkulous. Bop it to keep going.
Okay, so I'm hoping that that's going to last
Bop it
me
to
a
keep
while.
going.
If you wait for long enough, it'll do this.
Don't let the dream die. Don't bop it.
So
Bop it.
you have to press the button
Bop it.
quickly or else it literally will go to sleep.
Don't
Thankfully,
bop
it'll
it.
save your score
Bop it.
before it does
Don't
that, but
bop
yes,
it.
it will
Bop
if you don't
it.
press the button.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it.
Twist it.
Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Pull yourself together, man. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it.
So thankfully, I have 2 lives still because I got another life back. Now, unfortunately, the game will not be generous enough to give you life every 100 points. Oh no,
Bop it. Don't bop it.
I learned that the hard way.
Do bop it. Don't bop it. Off the hook. Bop it. 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 Don't bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it.
I did that by instinct, sorry. I knew, just because of the way the music plays, that it was going to be a Bop It and not a Do Not Bop It.
Bop it.
You have to kind of pay attention to what the music what the music tells you.
What was that? Bop it. Bop it. Bop it.
Also, baby noise.
Bop it. Bop it.
Like that.
Bop
It never said bop it, but I just knew instinctively that I had
Bop
to.
it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Don't bop it. Do.
So,
Bop it. Bop it.
that's about as complex as it gets. It's basically just an endurance test. It's like, how far can you go before the game just tricks you into utter delirium? Oh, also, it loves to do this, too. Fun fact, I actually have fallen asleep while playing this game multiple times.
Bop it. Bop it.
To the point where I literally got tricked because I didn't press the button in time because I was half asleep. Sure, it was mostly because I wasn't paying attention, but it still happened. Speaking of going to sleep, it's doing this again. Let's go. So nice of it to actually start with a music beat instead of just saying bop it immediately. That's very rare.
300. How cool is that? Bop it to keep going.
Well, what's not cool is that I didn't get a life, so I still have 2 lives left.
Bop it, yeah. Do not bop it.
Also,
Yeah.
that is now a response sound. The word yeah.
Bop it. Do not bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Now. Redonkulous. Bop it. Do.
Also, the word now.
Let's go. Bop it.
That's one of my favorite intermissions, like how there's this person that just yells, "Let's go!" It's great.
Bop it. Do. Yeah. Do. Bop it. Don't bop it.
I just can't help myself to press the button at that time. For those who don't understand why I'm pressing it, well, there's a reason for it. It makes sense once you understand how the music is laid out.
Don't bop it.
You have to really pay attention to if it's saying do or don't.
Don't bop it. Do. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it now. Bop it. Do. Bop it now. Bop it. Bop it now. Don't.
Also, the word now is also a response sound, which is kind of odd. But it is how it is.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it now. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Bop it.
And as you can imagine, the more you play and the higher all-time score gets, the more of these sounds you unlock at the very beginning of the game, making it more diverse. So, like, if your score is high enough, you'll eventually get, like, everything unlocked at the very beginning, instead of having to climb up like this, where you hear everything from stage to stage.
Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop
Hey
it.
there, squeeze it noise.
Do. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Don't bop it. Can I just go to sleep now? Don't bop it.
Oh no,
Bop it.
not yet,
Do
buddy.
not
Not
bop it.
yet.
Bop it. Do.
I know you
Bop
really
it.
want
Bop
to,
it. Bop it. Bop it. Do.
but you're also hell-bent on giving me ridiculously confusing commands sometimes, so... Yeah, like that one, for example.
Bop it. Do. Not bop it. Do. Don't bop it. Do. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. 400. You killed it. Bop it to keep going.
400. Let's go.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it.
I don't know if it's just me, but I think this game
Do.
is programmed very specifically to have some levels that contain more don't bop it's and hindering commands and intermissions than others. And there are some level...
remember my first time playing Bop It.
Don't bop it.
Hey there.
Bop it. Bop it.
I
Bop
swear,
it. Bop it.
some of the levels are just
Bop it.
programmed
Bop
to
it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop
to
it.
contain
Bop
a
it.
lot
Bop it.
more consecutive bop it commands like this one,
Bop it.
where you can
Don't
breeze
bop it.
through them much
Don't
faster.
Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop
You can
it.
also do this.
Don't bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. 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 Don't bop it.
Yeah, that's
Bop
fun to
it.
do.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it.
Just make
Bop
sure
it.
to stop doing it when it says don't.
Don't
Or do, for
bop
that
it.
matter, because you don't know if they'll be saying do or do not.
Don't bop it. Bop it. Hey, don't
Hey.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Yeah. Do not bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it.
And because of the fact that the game is
Okay, this is weird. Bop it.
not that,
Don't
the fact that the game is not really going to give me much of a chance to talk in silence, I'll just try to talk while I'm playing about a few things. So,
bop it. Bop it. Bop it.
my goal in this recording is to get up to 1,000. I'm not going to be going higher than that, but what I will say is there is a surprise waiting for you if you ever manage to get... There's a life, nice. If you ever manage to get to 2,500, there is a special surprise waiting for you at that point. So, I encourage everyone, if they can outlast the button, to do that, because it's amazing. And, I was gonna say something else, but I'm gonna delay it for a little bit later while I try to concentrate on not losing lives. Do not bop it. I love some of the voice lines, especially the buddy ones, that go very well with some of the don'ts and the do's. It's like do bop it. Or don't bop it. I love how every single one of those bop it lines has its own personality. Makes the game a lot more fun. Oh, that was symmetrical. Nicely symmetrical there. See, that's the contrast I was talking about before that I don't think I had the time to show off before, is that if it stops on that bar and it just goes, do not, and then it doesn't play a snare drum on the next beat, that means it's going to be a not bop it. No, it says do, plays a beat for a while, and then it says not bop it. You can anticipate if it's a do bop it or a do not bop it from how much, like where the music stops. It's hard to explain. It makes more sense when you actually hear it in practice. I'll show you it again when it comes up. As soon as the game lets me. That was very boring. Oh.
Off the hook. Bop it to keep going.
Nice. 600. Let's go.
Bop it. Now. Don't. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Do.
See, that last little snare drum at the end means that it has to be a do bop it and not a do not bop it.
Bop it. Bop it. Do.
Like this. Bop it.
Bop it. Bop it.
See, I knew that it was going to be a bop it and not a not bop it.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Bop Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it now. Don't. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Okay, this is weird. Bop it. Don't.
I love that comment too.
Bop it.
I don't know which one I like the most, but that is perhaps one of my favorites. The okay, this is weird.
Bop it. Bop it. Now. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it.
That's what I'm
Bop
talking
it.
about.
Bop it. Do. Not bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop
I haven't heard that in a while.
Do. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop
I love the
it.
definite
Do.
click of this button. It's very satisfying.
Bop it. Bop it. Okay, this is weird. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Don't bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. 700. How cool is that? Bop it to keep going. Yeah. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it.
I thought I might as well mention another curious thing about this game.
Bop it.
The
Now.
fact that
Bop it. Do.
if you take the
Bop it.
batteries out,
Don't bop it.
it will
Do.
still
Bop
play
it.
for an entire
Don't bop
about
it.
30
Bop
seconds
it.
or so
Bop it.
before it completely shuts
Do.
off.
Not bop it. Do. Not
The reason why it does that is because it's trying to give you enough time to change the batteries to save your all-time from dying.
do. Not bop it. Bop it. Bop it.
So if the batteries
Bop it.
ever get
Don't
low,
bop it.
you
Do.
still have
Bop it.
a few seconds
Bop
to
it.
take the
Bop
cover
it.
off
Bop it. Bop it. Do.
and put new batteries in without risking
Not bop it. Bop it.
losing your
Bop
all-time
it.
score.
Do. Bop
It's
it.
an amazing
Bop
feature
it.
that
Don't
I
bop
know
it.
there's many games that have already done this in the past, but
Bop it.
on this one it's very welcome.
Bop it.
Sure, it's not like the flip slide or the bop it bounce that has flash memory,
Bop it. Bop
but it's
it.
still good enough.
Bop it. Do. Bop it.
Now, in contrast to those other games,
Do.
you can still play the game for an entire 30 seconds without batteries in it. Like, it literally will still play
Do.
Bop it.
for that long,
Bop it. Bop it. Bop
which is
it.
crazy to think
Bop it.
about,
Bop it. Now.
because there's no
Bop it.
batteries in it,
Bop
but it still
Do.
saves the power somehow.
Do. Bop it.
And this specific unit that I got from Bop It for Good came with batteries, and I'm going to be using those batteries until they die. So I haven't actually put 2 of my own batteries in it. We'll see how they last, though.
Don't bop it. Bop it. Don't.
And yes, this game does have a test mode, and it also has a sound test.
Bop it.
So in case you were really curious, yes, there is one,
Bop it.
but
Bop it.
what I will say is that
Bop it. Do. Not bop it. Do.
if you want to get the full experience, just play the game. Don't resort to the test
Bop
mode.
it.
It's not worth it. For this game specifically, it really isn't worth it.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Do. Not bop it. Don't bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Do. Bop it.
As we're climbing ahead towards 800, which we're going to be reaching very soon.
Bop it.
Bop it. Do. Bop it. Do. Bop it. 800. Pull yourself together, man. Bop it to keep going.
Nice. Let's go.
Do. Bop it. Bop it.
As I said, I'll be going only towards 1,000 before I die,
Bop it. Don't bop it.
Bop it.
because I don't want to make this overly ridiculously long and boring for everyone.
Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Don't bop it.
It strikes me as odd how many intermissions are simply just left with that very quiet, that. Like, there's two of them. If you get your score high enough, those constant, just those beats will be completely different. They'll be replaced by, like, a bunch of other, like, comments and whatever else that you'll happen to meet on your Bop It Button travels. So instead of just hearing the beat, it'll be just random comments. And it's all based on your all-time, so unfortunately, because of the fact the game doesn't save your all-time, it doesn't always play more interesting stuff.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it.
Like, it sometimes does, but it's rare.
Bop it. Bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it.
It's very common to hear just the musical beat constantly going on. And that's because I started the game with started my game with a low all-time score. Okay, one last 100 to go, and then I'm gonna stop. You can also, like, bop the button, but you have to be very careful on if it's actually hitting censor or not while you do that.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do not bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do. Bop it. Do not bop it. Bop it.
So I prefer to click the button in with one of my fingers instead of using my entire hand.
Don't bop it. Don't bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Do.
One thing that unfortunately didn't come with this first version of the game is the fact that Dan was planning on including these little tying straps, or like little points where the straps would connect to the unit, and you could strap them onto things. Like, I don't know, you could strap them to your wrist or whatever, or just lock them down and connect it to something. You could even wear the Bop It button on yourself if you wanted to. That will come later as well, so the project is far from done. This is just the first iteration of it. Oh, hey there, Clicky Noise. I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you again. Now, can you please let me go on? Thank you. And remember, it said don't, so you have to not press the button. And to make it slightly more interesting, I'm not just going to immediately lose all my lives at 1,000. Instead, what I'm going to do is every single time it says don't bop it, I'm going to press the button as if I didn't hear what it said, because I want to show you the comments it tells you when you shouldn't have bopped it. Those comments are priceless. I fucking love them. They are amazing. And so we'll get a score that way, which is probably going to be like 1,015. Also, there's a little jingle from the Bop It Extreme there, which has been truncated. You also get that when you get a high score.
My son invented Bop It, and I'm sorry.
Bop it to keep going.
That clip was from Dan's
Bop it to keep going.
Dan's father.
Bop it. Bop it.
So from here on out, if I hear don't, I'm gonna press it.
Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Dude. Don't bop it. Try again.
So when it says try again, you can bop it again.
Don't. I literally told you what to do. Don't bop it. Try again. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Yow! No. Don't bop it.
And finally,
Pop it.
last life.
Pop it. Pop it. Don't. Yeah! I literally told you what to do. Don't pop it. Score 1,000. 20. High score 1,000. 20. Killer, dude.
Nice. So I got a score of 1,020 after having lost 4 lives. When in reality I could have lost 5, but oh well. So now if I hold the button down and look at my unlocks, you'll see that I'll have unlocked a bunch of stuff, like this.
High score 1,000. 20. All-time score 1,000. 35. Bop it, 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 bop it.
This one goes on for quite a while.
What was that? Pull yourself together, man. Off the hook. You killed it. Hello? Hello?
Yes, even the ticking has to be in here.
You're so hot right now. Focus. Concentrate.
So yeah, there's the unlocks that I've gotten so far, after getting an all-time of 1,035. There's one more comment that is like my favorite that I haven't heard yet, so to save you the trouble, I'm going to switch to the 150 mode.
Blasting. Blast. Loud.
Hold on loud and wait.
Bop it.
That's the normal game. That's the bomb thing. That's the fart mode, and
150.
I'm going to lift, and it will start me on 150 every time. Now, this doesn't mean that the all-time score will actually go up by 150 if you don't press anything. It will not. It's a bit confusing that way, but basically it starts you from 0 in the certainty of all-time. So you get a high score of 150, but you don't get an all-time of anything, if that makes any sense. So let me
Bop it.
just...
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. I literally told you what to do. Don't bop it. Score 5.
Oh, it didn't work? Why didn't it not put me to the 150 mode? What?
Blast it. Loud. Blast.
Oh, wait.
Loud.
There we go. Now I'm going to wait.
Bop it. 150.
Now I'm going to let go. Let's go.
Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Let me slow it down for you. Don't bop it. Score 155.
There it is. I'm going to keep on doing this because there's one more comment that I want to hear from this thing that is like the most amazing comment ever.
Bop it. Do not. Oh! I literally told you what to do. Don't bop it. Score 151.
As you can hear, there's a lot of very familiar fail noises as well.
Bop it. Do. Bop it. Bop it. Bop it. Don't. Yow! If I say don't bop it. Don't bop it. I thought we were clear on this. Score 154.
There. That is what I was looking for. I love that. It's amazing. Especially considering that the programmers had to engineer it, like sentence mix it almost, because it says, if I say don't bop it, don't bop it. I thought we were clear on this. I love it. It's my favorite comment that this thing ever says. Now, there's a lot of things that it can say if you don't bop it when it's supposed to, like when you're supposed to bop it, that are different from this. Like, if I just press it now and
Bop
wait.
it. Oh! Insert sarcastic comment here. Score 150.
Yeah, and now if I check my all-time, you'll see that it hasn't grown by like 500 instead.
High score 1,020. All-time score 1,050.
There. That's all it is. So I only got 10 plus 5 plus another 15 that I've just now accumulated from having been in 150 mode. Well, actually, no, that was 5 from accidentally still being in 0, like starting from scratch, and then another 10 from being in here. And yes, unfortunately, if you wait for long enough, the game will return to blasting volume and put you back on normal,
Blasting! Quiet! Loud!
the normal Bop It mode.
150!
I'll just quickly demo
Bop It!
the time bomb mode. So if you press the button, it will start clicking and then it'll start playing the music. That's not the right
Bop It!
mode. I don't know why it doesn't like to switch, but it sometimes doesn't.
Did anyone see you doing that? Blasting! Quiet! Loud! Bop it!
Okay, I'm gonna lift now. Okay, so it's not like that.
Bop it!
I think it's...
Come on! Blast! Loud!
Bop it.
Bop it!
There we go. So it makes that noise, and now it's just gonna keep on making. It's just gonna keep on playing the music until it stops.
Oh! Really?
And it also plays comments as well. Now, if you would like, you can also press the button while it's playing the music, and it will do that and stop. And that's about it. It randomizes how long it waits, basically, and it just randomly fails after a certain point. So, that's all I wanted to do today with the Bop It button. I hope you've enjoyed. And as I said, this is only the first iteration of the Bop It button, so there will be multiple different revisions of this thing coming out in the next few months. It is much, much different from any normal Bop It, and thus requires a different kind of brain skill that not everyone has, so it's perfectly understandable if people need some time to get used to it. I've been playing it a lot ever since I got my pre-production unit, so I'm very much used to it by now. But it's one of those games that sometimes you just pick up and play and you can't stop playing. And it really is one of those because, oh, hey there.
I'm going to sleep.
Yes, it even says that. It did that because it was in one of the special modes, and if it's in one of those special modes and not the Bop It mode, it will actually tell you when it's going to sleep instead of just stopping completely like it normally does. It's an odd quirk, but it exists. What was I gonna say? Jam it, I forgot. I was saying something about how I've been playing the Bop It button for a long time and I've gotten used to it, but I'm not expecting everyone to get used to it immediately. It's like... Oh yeah, I was saying how addictive it is. It's like you can just go and pick this up and... Or, if all you want to do is to, I don't know, just brighten up your day, just tap the button once and have it tell you some random thing. You can do that too. There's nothing stopping you from doing that either. So, yeah. That was the Bop It button. I know it's kind of... it's a little bit anticlimactic the way I'm ending this video, but it doesn't matter. I did what I wanted to do in the video, and if it has ever caught your interest and you think that you might want to get one of these if you don't already have one, then go over to bopitforgood.com and buy one of your own. I wish I could have said that when Black Friday was still a thing, but unfortunately, the embargo didn't let me. Basically, we were asked not to record us or upload anything about us getting over 500 points, just to spoil any of the noises that it would make. But past this point, there will be many people who will be uploading videos about the thing, and sooner or later, people will have discovered everything there is to know about the Bop It button. So I thought I'd at least give people the courtesy of waiting just a bit longer, without spoiling every single thing there is to hear. Now, in the Maxim Score episode, which I'm hoping to get done in the next few weeks, I still haven't fully thought of what it is that I would do exactly, but I might go all the way up to 2,500. I might not. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll be using this button because I really, really like the clickiness of it.
Pop it.
Oh, shut up.
Yo! Fantastic, my man.
I love the clickiness of this button. It is amazing. So, yeah, I haven't decided if I want to go to all the way to 2,500. I'll think about it. But, yeah, there it is. A community game. A game that has been shaped from feedback, using feedback from people who know how to give valuable feedback. It I think has paid off quite well, and I am very happy to have been one of the people who have received pre-production units, and I am very much looking forward to the continuation of the Bop It button, as it were, with all the new revisions and everything that'll come after it. And I'm hoping that KID Group will have a bit more recognition in the next couple years, and that Bop It will be restored to the former glory as it should be from, well, sometime during the mid to late 2000s, when Bop It was still talked of very, very fondly. So, that's all I wanted to say. I hope someone has enjoyed. And I guess there's not much else for me to say, so thank you very much for sticking with me, and I'll see you guys later.